Okay guys, so the video you're going to see in a few moments time is a video I recorded last night prior to the Limited and Forbidden list. I kind of wanted to just post it up as legacy content at this point. It is a Spiral deck profile of the previous format, currently at time of filming the current format, but will only be legal for one more weekend of play. So I believe one regional over here, and I'm not sure if it'll be playable in the US or in Central or in the remainder of Europe. That being said, please feel free to enjoy. Please do note that this is currently an out-of-date profile, but I kind of wanted to just have it up as a record. Some of you guys who've been around for a while will remember that this channel is kind of here as a bit of a record of every deck I've gone through and the lists I've played over time. So I'm going to have it here for my benefit and hopefully for yours. But not to worry, I'll be returning very soon with content post-list. I already have a couple of decks in the works on Dueling Book. Just need to finalise them and then put them all together. But thank you very much and I hope you enjoy. What is up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you guys with a brand new deck profile. It is time for this deck to get posted up, I suppose. This is the deck I should, or would, or could have played for YCS London, but I didn't. If you want to see my reasoning as to why, please feel free to watch my Paleozoic deck where I kind of explained it a little bit, but long story short, I hadn't learned my combos, and I felt I was probably going to lose more often to myself than to my opponents, and I didn't really fancy playing into 16 hand traps deck. So that's the long and short of it, but this is the list that I would have run. The side note is you won't see any gammas in this because I don't own any, and I really didn't have the equity to displace to pick them up, but I suppose going forwards, if this deck is still legal for another major event, I'll pick them up because I really do think they were a very good hand trap, and I think you still need to run the variants with loads of hand traps to them, but it's still just an unfortunate format to find ourselves in, that we need to play 16 hand traps to stop decks like this, kind of creating their Protect the Fortress boards. But either way, let's get into the list, and I'll show you what it would have been, but it is fairly standard. So it is 3 copies of Spiral Gear Drone. This card is really the combo starter. This is the card that made me so upset playing Paleozoic, putting my Ronin Totems to the top. This is literally a brick creator. It's also what put me off playing Lightsworn for the event, because this would be going to the top of my deck every single time, or the Cobra. So 3 drone. I think this is the card I dislike the most, other than of course the obvious Sleeper Last Resort combo. This thing is just heartbreaking. But 3 drone, 3 Spiral Quick Fix. This card is nutty. The fact that this doesn't have a once per turn limitation is just silly, but again, a ludicrous combo card. This card in and of itself is what makes me really enjoy playing this deck with regards to as a solitaire deck. I really enjoy kind of solitairing and hand testing this deck. And I'd be interested to see how the deck gets hit on a potential ban list, and how much life this card gives the deck if it continues to stay up. Because the fact that these can self-create their own advantage to loop themselves out of the graveyard and then make rank 1s, I'm very interested to see how these do. Going forwards, I then played 3 Spiral Super Agent. I previously tested 2 and a Rotor, but the Rotor is just asking to get drolled early, so I'm just not about that life. So it was 1 Super Agent, sorry, it was 3 Super Agents in that case. They're just ludicrous cards. The actual Spell Trap pop is incredibly relevant, I've been finding. For the one-offs, of course, you're going to expect them. It's Spiral Master Plan, Last Resort, and Sleeper. This combo is just dumb. Master Plan is silly, but the fact that and it's also a really awkward brick, but the fact that you can get rid of it off of things like Dragon's Ravine, I suppose, is kind of cute. But she's still a level 7 thick monster that is very difficult to get out of your hand. But the combo of these two just is absolutely dumb. And even the fact that you can grind game into Sleeper and it's still such a strong card, even if you don't get the lock, it's absolutely just crazy. So the one-offs, I then played Destrudo because I'm playing the Ravine combo. A card I still think is very strong is 3 copies of Blackwing Go for the Vague Shadow. This card and the Ancient Fairy Dragon combo is just absolutely nutty, so I think this is really cool. I really enjoy playing it. I don't see myself cutting the Ravine combo anytime soon, so I think that's a very relevant thing that you're going to see in this list for a while. It's definitely something I'm going to play for a while. Moving into the hand traps, so this is the stop playing part. It's 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, the kind of standard right there. 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Again, this is kind of just a standard pick. I really like this card though, especially because I absolutely hate Spiral Resort, so it's a good way to get around that. 3 Drawn Lockbirds, the kind of auto win, auto stop card. Because I didn't have Gammas, I would have played 1 Ghost Reaper. I don't want to play more than 1 because I don't really think there's very much point, especially because you never want to see more than 1, and once you've hit the Helix or hit the Firewall or hit whatever niche like other relevant extra monster that's coming out in the mirror, that's all you really want it for. Also, I didn't extra deck specifically for other matchups, so I was going to have a hard time Ghost Ogreing cards in other decks, especially Invoked. So I didn't. So did I say Ghost Ogre? Ghost Reaper. So I didn't want to have this dead in my other matchups potentially. So that was my thinking when I was making that call. I then played the 1 DD Crow for the Lyrical Lusk Recital Starling play, and then the 1 Maxi because, for obvious reasons. But that brings me to the end of the monster count. It's somewhere in the high region. But this way you'd be safe calling monster if you were using Super Agent on me. So for spells, I played a few one-offs in the form of 1-for-1, Foolish Burial, Soul Charge, and Spiral Big Red. I think maybe Big Red could have gone to 2, but otherwise I was happy with these. We can change Big Red to 2. I think 1 was all I wanted at the time, but who knows, we can go to 2. Then for Field Spellorama, we played the 1 Oracle of Zephyra because people seem to be playing Gaia a lot more than they were as a Fraxiton. And of course there was the Invoke deck that played the Fire guy, I can't remember the name of it, but I didn't really fancy getting blown out by Purgatrio, so I felt this was a safer card to give myself, to give my opponent. I then played the 1 Dragon Ravine for, I say played, I then would have played. I then put in 1 Dragon Ravine for the Destruder combo, and then the 3, of course, obvious Spiral Resorts. Just absolutely dumb cards. Then I played the 2 set rotations. I played like 1 side event with this deck, and I act like I've played it for ages. Then I played the 2 set rotation. I felt like the 3rd was unwise. I had plenty of ways into my field spells anyway. Terraforming would have been bad. And realistically, you're tearing through these with things like AFD. You're going to burn through 2 on a set rotation, and then you're leaving yourself with potential dead cards or blanks, or you're giving your opponent good cards. So it wasn't actually really necessary to have any more than this. Otherwise you're basically just going to brick these, and you're already playing 16 hand traps, which technically can qualify as bricks in terms of combo pieces. So these needed to come out. Then played 3 Machine Duplication because it's just nutty. There's just no reason not to, and I mean, come on, they're beautiful. Then for traps, played 1 Rescue and 1 Utility Wire. They're kind of the self-explanatory ones. This is such a dumb Wing Blast. When I was playing in the main event with Paleozoic, they put a Ronin Toad into the top of my deck. That was basically me done. And this just extends your combos so far, and you have to have it as a target for the master plan. So that was the main deck. For the extra deck, there's just 1 card in here. There's 1 card I want to put in this. I need to find the room for. I'd probably take out the Baguska, but we'll get there. And it's Herald of Arclight, the level 4 synchro, because when you have Firewall Dragon out, if you have a bad hand trap in hand, so say like a Ghost Ogre and a Quick Fix, if you've got a Quick Fix on board, you can just if you've got another guy that you're using, you can just link the guy away, special summon the Quick Fix from your hand, link another guy away, special summon this. or however the kind of combo lays out. If you have yourself with a level 1, you can just flash summon this off of the Firewall Dragon, and then synchro these away into, into Herald of Arclight. So I thought that'd be pretty cool, but otherwise that's the only card I wanted to play in there. Otherwise, for the monsters in the extra deck, it was 2 Spiral Double Helix. I feel like 2 is all you need. You should only kind of go through 2. I guess you may need the 3rd for the grind game, but 2 was enough for me, and it was enough for my wallet. So there's those. For a series of one-offs, I played 1 Link Spider, 1 Proxy Dragon, 1 Ib, 1 Nigirisu, and 1 Decode Talker. Nigirisu is just such a good removal card. Otherwise, everything in the set fairly self-explanatory, especially the Ib for board defense. Then play 1 Borload Dragon and 2 Firewall Dragons. In my test handing, I can almost always come up with this board. But of course, that's kind of a god's board. If your opponent has no hand traps, something you're never gonna get to. But I mean, I think this card is super strong, and I think it's going to be a real contender going forward. So I'm glad I've picked mine up, and it's in gorgeous Italian, like the majority of the deck. So it's going to be good seeing that in a fair few decks to come. And then moving into Xyz monsters, that was all the links. I play 1 Sylvan Princess Sprite, 1 Lyricalist Recital Starling, and 1 number 41 Baguska, the Terribly Tired Taper. I think this card is absolutely silly in the fact that you can summon it using things like, in some of my test hands, it's been like Last Resort and a Super Agent. I've kind of summoned both of these off a Firewall Dragon, made this, and then when the time comes around, I try and bounce this back to my hand and hold the sleeper, so I can make a play like this. They have to out this first, and then I can actually sleeper them later on, which is cool. But that's just stuff that I've been experimenting with. And then for the last 2, I played 2 Synchro Monsters, which are the obvious Coral Dragon and Ancient Fairy Dragon. Otherwise, that brings us to about the end of that list. So, kind of dropping my standard caveats. I hope you've all enjoyed, which you're probably not going to have done because this is Spiral and not a lot of people enjoy this at all. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to do me, anything you'd like me to do with regards to Spiral content going forwards, because I mean, I'm quite eager to learn the deck. I definitely don't know if I'm going to be playing it going forwards. I kind of picked up a core of absolutely everything in the meta to see what I wanted to do going forwards, but let me know what you'd like to see. But otherwise, to apply the standard caveats, let me know let me know you enjoyed this video by leaving me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. Comment down below on what you'd like to see deck profile wise this format. I've still got a fair amount of stuff and a lot of the newer stuff, so let me know if there's anything you're interested in, and otherwise share this with your friends if you think they would enjoy this content. But I've been Jamie the Kid 00. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye bye.